Welcome back to the last game of Division 2 regular split, summer 2022. Are you ready, Solari?
Yes, I am. Come on, we had such good games today. I need one more.
It's the last one that is going to decide the top of the standings. This is really important for the first and second seed. It's going to be Lightside taking upon Domino at the last game possible. Domino at this moment, I believe they locked in fourth. Raid are looking for the third one or even the second if Lightside loses today. So this is the most serious game of the day. Don't expect any shady business. Expect just a high champion select. Maybe Shivana? Nah.
Please, I really want
Shivana
this
has
to
been picked
Shavana.
on the LEC. She's quite good at what she
Yes,
does. It's
yes.
a better Udyr, I would say. So maybe.
Shavana Pantheon botlane.
Nah, man, but why? But why? Now, this is important to know who's going to be fighting versus natives. We heard it from natives themselves. Milo was talking about the idea that rate gaming could prove could be more dangerous than even light side. They believe light side kind of got lucky at the beginning of the split. I love when there's that little beef. It's not BM, it's just a little bit of beef
Yeah.
between those two teams. But it's rate gaming have been showing themselves constantly. So obviously they need to be aware of this light side if they want to prove their worth. If they want to prove that it was not luck, do it. It's time to shine, baby. Domino versus light side. Olaf is the first one being taken down. What can we expect from the other side, though?
Answering with some jungles or going towards the top lane. I also want to see some bans for the bot lane. You want to get rid of some potential early game hyper carries. Potentially also banning Seraphine. I hate to say that, but most probably she is going to be banned away in this game because otherwise Domino on the blue side, they have the first pick. They are going to grab this one. She's just ridiculously strong on the lane and as a team fighter and just in any sense. But so far, not seeing any of that. Velvet is going to be banned away. And next ban is going to be a Momo, which means the very powerful Kalista and Momo combination, for example, is not possible anymore.
You still have the Renata and Draven is being taken
Yeah.
away, so that early game could be interesting to see if they decide to give two axes or even Mushox that sort of advantage. Domino, what is the last ban from them? We haven't seen any Zeri whatsoever. On Division 1, it is a spam. On Division 2, not so much. It's the Pantheon now. It's the new flavor.
Pantheon is the news area apparently, but come on, it's a little bit more fun. It's a little bit, versatility in the picks. But Lucian is going to be the last ban coming from Domino. Indeed, everybody's really looking at the bot lane, getting away too strong hyper carries, and Talia is actually going to be the last ban from Lightside, removing that flex between the jungle and the mid lane. And either way, after the changes in 12.13, she feels very strong on both of these positions.
That makes sense. She has been a menace. The rotation, the roaming, the CC you provide in the team fight, denying those dashes without even bringing the poppy. So the Nar is the blindest of the blind picks. We have seen this in every single league. It's a ERL, it's the LEC, it's LCK even. They also like to play this one. Wukong was kind of tweaked and nerfed on this clear on this strike, but apparently not enough. Seraphine,
yeah. She wasn't banned, so you had to expect her not coming as the first pick, locking 9 the end, one of the best blind picks for the top lane, but there are things that can answer him. For example, if you think about it on something that works very well on the top lane, or God, something you might not think about, but he actually can pull Ignar out of the lane, and I have seen it happening a couple of times, so I would not be surprised to see actually something unexpected on the top side for light side. But so far, okay, so we have Aphelios answering from Domino's side. They are already locking in the bot lane for themselves. Are they going to go for a support for Aphelios immediately to lock something engaging like Nautilus, for example, who is not bent out? So you might want to grab him before the next bans come in.
I was confused. Giving priority to the jungler, that would mean at least the Diana Yasuo combo with a massive AoE, but then there's a Renata open and you put yourself in jeopardy, but the Diana still comes in, AP jungler yet again. So there's no big support to save that Aphelios right now, but there's a lot of supports available for that one. So even if you go into the second ban phase and you're like, okay, I want to have the Renata or even the Lulu or the Thresh, that is always a good pair, even though it's a 12.1 patch, it's still a good one. Salas is an S pick, and even though you don't have the best ultimates on the other side, you still have the Gnar and the Moonlight as well.
Yeah, both Moon and Ultimates are going to be good for you, but with the Diana pick, of course, you are beating out the Yasuo ban from the enemy, because either they ban it away or they're actually giving it away to you and giving away this super powerful combination of these two ultimates, and you don't want to see that being picked against you. But Diana will still work regardless of whether or not she has Yasuo on her team. So, we still have two more bans from the side of Domino. What do they want to prioritize? Mid lane and part of the bot lane already open for them. Do they want to make sure their top lane is going to be safe? Apparently so, taking Irelia away. Actually also ridiculously well against Gna. If she gets good beginning of the game, she starts snowballing there, and she is the very early game oriented pick, so get rid of it, enable yourself, safe scaling.
So they're focusing on a mid lane on one side, the other one, they need to take away those top lane counters. There are a few of them that can still lead with the Gnar or deal with the Gnar, even though it's really complicated. It's going to be the Tristana. It's the mid lane, so they want to protect the Silas apparently, or even something spicy. I don't think it's gonna be it, but I'm opening my mind to something spicy from the side of Lightside at this moment with this Tristana ban. Last one should be for the top lane, or maybe an AD carry, because they still don't have them. Seraphine could take that role, but still, there's no farming for Moshocks.
Okay, they take away Renata because the next pick is going to be from Lightside, and there is high possibility that they are going to take it for themselves, also denying that Renata possibility for Domino. Even though picking Renata into Silas would have been still risky, we have seen how it works already today. So, what else do you want? Your bot lane is still half open for Lightside. Do they want to go for this? Do they want to send Graves into the jungle and sending Wukong on the top lane against Gna in the end?
It could be that. Or the other. Could be Graves on the top to just push. And then, but I believe it's going to be the Wukong, but it's still a flex nonetheless. It could be even Salas top for some reason and Graves mid as the production lighted out. But talking about dashes, well, you have the Wukong, you have the Salas, you have the Graves. Might as well drop in a Vex in the mid line. If you didn't have a jungler, I would say bring in the Poppy. You counter most of the other side, but this is a high engaged team.
Oh yes, they want to be going into the enemies constantly, and they have very good access to not just the backlane but completely everybody. Is it going to be Poppy? Come on, against things like Rakan, against things like Vex, she has to be locked in there. Or you can go with Nautilus and try to answer the engage with your own, because with okay, it's going to be it in the end. Risky, very risky, because you're going with a little bit more risk into those team fights, making yourself very vulnerable. For Vex, the priorities are not, in my eyes at least, it's not completely clear, because she doesn't really like to be fighting against champions with a lot of shields, and Seraphine, if timed properly, can provide quite a lot of shields on herself and her teammates around her. But I love what Domino have picked for themselves. A lot of hard engage, a lot of things that are going to just go in there and provide a lot of control immediately. So for Lightside, answering to this engage is going to be very hard, because, come on, the minute engage happens, the control jumps in and you cannot answer for a couple of seconds.
She's going for that Shadow Flame, I believe. At least second item, I guess. Maybe get the Mythic and going for the Shadow Flame for the Vex.
Yeah.
That's the way to deal with those nasty shields. Someone, if we see more shields popping off, maybe you can even bring a Serpent's Fang. You have two targets that can do it. Let's see if that is going to be the decision, as we're about to jump into the last game of the day that is going to decide the top two, as we're about to look into playoffs. We're done with Summer Split after this one. After that, it's only about climbing the mountain. The top teams will be able to face relegations for first division, while Singularity and M&M are the teams to take down. So far, both teams are looking good, even though Division 2 is looking really good as well. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to be as easy as everybody thinks.
I don't think so. Man, it's going to be hard for both sides. And come on, do you remember their last relegations before this split? Do you remember how everything got turned upside down all of a sudden? Two teams from Division 3, for example, getting into Division 2 all of a sudden, taking away those spots? Come on, that was beautiful. We might just see something like that happening in the next relegations for Division 1. Or not, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we also have relegations from Division 2 to Division 3 as well, a
Yeah.
way to give the opportunity from Division 3 to shine on Division 2. We heard it here before. They said that they were not afraid from what Division 3 is showing right now. But well, they said the same thing on Spring Split, and
Guess
hold
what?
and behold, out of a sudden, there's two teams joining in, at least two rosters joining in for this one. We're about to jump into the Summoners Rift for the last one of the day. As I'm going to say it yet again, we have the bird's eye view of the Rift, and there it is in all its majesty, the last one of the regular split, Salari.
This sounds big, and it also sounds sad at the same time, but let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the game instead, because it's going to be, it at least promises to be a very serious one. Both teams are going in with very, very strong compositions. I want to see them being executed, because come on, a lot will go down to that. There is a lot of stakes whenever both of them are engaging into big fights or complete team fights. A lot to lose, but also if you put everything on the table properly, oh, this could be so spicy for both of them. I want to see the big fights starting as soon as possible. But before that, okay, here we go.
It's not going to be a kill. They didn't waste anything. This just burns the time from zero.
Yes, yeah,
Oh,
it's
he's
already
gonna
something.
stay. He has to stay.
Yes, he's already using the corruption potion, so he's going to be one stack less with it on the mid lane. Not great, not terrible. It's going to stay. Let's see how it's going to go. So, both junglers are starting from the opposite side of the jungle, which opens Diana a possibility to actually go to the bot lane and accelerate it. And she has very good leash there to go in, to jump onto Rakan and continue and maybe try to score some kills. Because yes, Nautilus is a scary thing, but Seraphine is squishy and doesn't have an escape. That's what I was looking for, apart from her flash. Either burn the flash or just completely take her down.
Outside of this, we don't see any sort of surprises. Fleet footwork on the Nard to try and get some sustain and run away if possible versus the
Yes.
engages of Wukong, because it's going to be quite menacing and threatening. Sven and Marox, I don't see the high damage or even kill potential. So Bambi has to step in on the bot side if he wants to get that color pressure. Because outside of that, it's going to be a tough one. Level 2 achieved from the bot lane. Sven looking at Snobby, gets the auto attack and forces the flash instantly while the Uncut is there. Level 1 versus level 2, that's not a good decision.
Oh yeah, you don't stand safely against the opponent if they have an engaged support and he's getting levels ahead of you. Come on, for Nautilus, level 2 and especially level 3 are going to be huge. And Seraphine still has a lot of poke, and they have very good potential to provide the chain of control with throwing the hook, the anchor rather from Nautilus, and then throwing in the root from Seraphine on top of that. That is actually the kill pressure. I'm seeing some of it there. Yes, maybe less damage than you would like to have, but come on, you still have enough control to make the early game hard from Domino's side.
Sis is having a hard mid lane as well. He still has his pots available. I think he kicked in one at least. He's going for the second one right now. It's going to be tough. If you dash, you're just giving her more utensils to proc the passive. You shouldn't. Well, you couldn't. Spooner on the top side, now in danger. There's two monkeys, but only one Nar. He wants to transform, he wants to hop, but he hops into his own death as the first blood has been spilled.
The monkey gets the first blood, going to have a nicer time on the top side right now. And come on, this monkey is going to be very big later in the game because, come on, Cyclone from Wukong, no matter what nerfs this champion has been facing, whenever he jumps into team fights with a Cyclone, is going to be big. And on top of that, oh, speaking of jumping in,
Moshox is now getting burned by the Ignite, but it doesn't matter in the end. They don't even burn this flash away while burning the Ignite, and Snobby running out of some of their spells on the bot lane. It's about sustaining themselves for Lightside. Domino are the ones that need to make plays.
I would say it's equal. Both of them might want to be taking place, but right now, yes, definitely with Domino pushing so much forward, you need to be more careful, but you have the tools to survive. Yes, there is very low mat on Seraphine, so that is definitely worrying. But, come on, with Domino's bot lane recalling. Oh my god, I'm losing the words already after these games today, but they're recalling, they're resetting, going back to the base, so you have the chance to also do the same. Push a little bit further, recall, come back with some more items helping you to have the mat on the lane. and you have the sustain, and as we just saw a little bit earlier, you have the damage.
It's still a Serenity Zerg for the grave, so obviously he wants to go for the lethality. It should be the Eclipse, and now getting used on those 5 additional movement speeds for the Legendary might give him the boost that he needs in those team fights and everything that he does. I know people have been talking about Eclipse being nerfed, but
A little bit.
I think it's on a good spot.
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's fair enough.
I think it's fair, yeah.
You nerf it a little bit, but then this additional passive for all lethality items is a very, very big thing. Stacking up that movement speed, especially for champion like Graves, is going to be super beneficial because yes, he has a little dash, but he doesn't really have any strong ways of coming to ganks or just joining the fights from a good angle. With additional movement speed, it's going to be easier for you.
A lot of confidence on the team of Domino as they bring double ring. Dark Still. They want to stack it away, and look at this. It's a bot side and want to get the engage in. Snobby's in danger. And even though he runs away, it means that 2 Axes is forced to flash away. Snobby getting way too close to death. And then all of a sudden, it's Bambi taking its place as the Graviton is going to slow them down. The root is there, but Porcupine goes down with a shotgun in the face.
He didn't have level 6. Nobody had level 6 in this fight, mind that. But come on, for Diana, jumping without the ultimate like that and the enemies who are still so high in the health bars is extremely dangerous. And because of that, here comes the kill onto Bambi, going to feel better now. Doesn't have the flash anymore, but, well, getting a little bit closer to the items is good enough. Oh, yeah, are they gonna spot him there? Oh, he's gonna help them do that.
Snobby can fight this one. What is he doing? The Rudy is dead in Svene. That's perma CC.
Yes, I don't know. There was some plan, maybe, behind that. But they would have spotted him sooner or later. They were walking towards that bush. Maybe he just wanted to try to fish for an opportunity to get away. But, well, didn't work. Another kill granted to the bot side of Lightside. It's, though, a kill for support, so it's a little bit better.
Zero is one of those saving graces with Vex versus all that dash. So far in terms of farm, he's the one staying behind right now. And now that Silas is getting a little bit more tankier with the Mercury as well, the fear is not going to be as powerful as it was. Not only that, but also the fear that you get, the stun from the Nar, and even the charm from the Rakan. So there is a way to protect himself. He's going to be one of the frontliners. This is something that we need to talk about. The fact that Lightside team is on your face. Zero knows that the engage is there, flashes away, and Ziz doesn't get the ultimate that he stole.
Ah, damn. Okay. Speaking of stealing the ultimates, what else is there available for affiliates? Because I am seeing some juicy ultimates. Yes, we've been talking about affiliates in Diana. Definitely want to take them. But what about Rakan? We know that this Silas is going to be somewhere in the front lanes. Yes, you have some front lane already with Wukong and with Nautilus, but you want to be engaging as well, so you want to be facing the opponent up close. This looks like a very interesting ultimate you could try to utilize in the fights. And then, of course, there is still that Mega Gna, and I think this is going to be, together with the Vex ultimate, one of the most frequent ones we'll see on this.
The Shadow Surge, she has it available right now in the mid lane. Maybe she can use it, but on the bot side, 2 axes. Where the shurikens just stacking on those plates, doesn't even care. They're going on a good position. Talking about a good position is Bambi, that just brought in a way to counter every single vision. This is such an important item on the jungle. You're gonna trade dragons for a herald. This is a good one for Lightside.
Yep, it's the first dragon, and they're taking the first herald, and herald is much more beneficial early on because, come on, you see your opponent already taking the turret blades, you need to answer with the same thing. You need to feed those gold into somebody on your team. Question is who? Oh, fight on the bot lane! Oh,
Good engage, but even though the Incort is there, Moshox cannot see his way out of this one. Perfect engage from Domino, gets himself the first kill of the game, and might even try to get a push in.
Yes, they will come on Affiliates. He still has a pretty good weapons to go onto that turret, and they want to turn away. Okay, they want to turn away. There is danger. He's somewhere around. He just left the mid lane, so they know he could be around. He has a good ultimate. He uses it immediately.
Says needs to survive, and the lockup is there to try and bring him down. The Shadow Surge connects with Bambi. It's a good ultimate from Bambi to try and get some distance and even apply some damage, but he's walking back into the fight for some reason. He's confident that he and Sven can do the 2v4? I don't think so.
They see the mana on 0. They know there is no mana for that Vex anymore, so not much she'll be able to do, so they want just to scare them away. Okay, the Herald is still available though on the side of Lightside. Remember that it's still going to be there for quite some time. Where will he want to release it? Honestly, I'm looking at the mid lane. I'm looking at that Silas. You know, he's most probably going to be one of your biggest winning cards in this game. Go get him some gold. Go get him to his 2-item power spike as soon as possible.
Porcupine. I think he's like 15 seconds away from getting the ultimate, and I think he has more than enough HP if he wants to force something. If Moshox would stay. But obviously, he needs to be careful of that one. Wukong still a little bit shy, but look at the farm. He's getting some distance, 95, 79. Even though Spooder is now trying to freeze the wave. It's an interesting freeze, I would say, as it's pushing towards him. So I guess he really wants to glue the wave to his turrets or even get a slow counter push.
Yes, come on, there is already Divine Sandra available for that Monkey King. It's going to be very dangerous for you to fight him. Try to stay in the safety and try to keep your lane somewhere where you can try to keep up with the farm that this Monkey King is showing so far. The Herald is still there, still running up. Bambi is now going back from the base into the fray, so it's going to be released somewhere. So now I'm still looking at that mid lane. Come on, it needs to go there.
Gale Force is already completed for the DFL right now, which means this is a huge spike for him to try and get a kill. Level 6, plus the Gale Force. The weapons are not the best right now. As Bambi approaches, the shotgun is smiling, but every single dash provides so much damage and build up on the Shadow for Zero. So that's something you're not allowed to disregard if you're playing with dashes.
Yes, but they don't really want to go in. Oh, who wants to go in is Svenne.
Out of a sudden, I believe they want to go in. Svenne goes in, and there's the knockup from the Rakan, followed up by every single wombo combo from Domino. And they get themselves 2 kills for free. Shadow Surge is there, but way too late, as the Cyclone will try to provide some respite. The ultimate from Seraphine doesn't reach any here whatsoever, and Porcupine is just running away. He's kind of tanky, so they swift the focus for Snavi. It's going to be the Rakan, but Wukong is bleeding, he's burning, he's dead, and Porcupine takes the trade. Even now, the Conqueror is stacking up. The shield goes wild, and this is allowed in 2 axes to give the damage in. He gets the kill, yes he does, but I believe it's going to be a delayed ace as Bobby puts himself in the front. And my lord Snavi takes the shot in the chest to allow 2 axes to take the kill.
We expected a little fight on the mid lane. It suddenly turned out into a huge fight. Oh my god, a lot happened. We go 6-6, but let's try to see what exactly was happening there, because the outcome is huge for both teams. They're stacking up the items right now, but what is more important is that was a demo version of what's going to happen later in the game when everybody's finally fully itemized. Ah, come on, the engage. The engage is available for both of the teams, right? And Svenne is the one to start going in with his Q, with his ultimate, but the problem is Diana and Verkan. You might have denied Yasuo for them, but they're still a very powerful combination. They go in, they have very good engage, they have access to you to immediately jump on top of you, and they have a lot of control coming from that Verkan. But the Enko is going in, not catching anybody. Lightside are trying to follow up with a very nice cycling coming in from Busy, and they just keep going. But this is the moment where Domino will try to turn around, and Busy just stopping up a little bit too far, and Domino managed to stack another kill onto Diana to work on top of that. And then it's going to be just a little bit more kill. Come on, an exchange here, an exchange there, another one. Boom, Domino getting another kill. Come on, this is... Oh my god, that's a lot of kills. That's a lot of kills.
Okay, let's move on into this one. Snabi, the hero that you deserve as an AD carry, takes the bullet, and now level 9, trying to get the second item. It's going to be the X-Tech, the second one being brought down. Let's see what the soul is. It's the ocean. A little breath of a fresh air today, I would say.
Yes.
Because we're done with mountain.
Yes, so we are now going towards some some... Oh my god, no, I'm completely losing the words today. You're going to get some additional sustainability for yourself. This is what I was fishing for. Okay, what else is going on there? The items are slowly but surely pouring in the guild. Wait, oh my god, Bizarre, are you sure about that? It's still the small guy, he still has the damage. Yes, you better try to get away. Oh my god. Items, items, items. Diana, of course, is going with the Sunfire. Next one, it has to be the Nature's Dude. And there is the Leandri available for Seraphine, but absolutely nothing else in terms of the mythics except for this Divine Sunder that has been on Wukong for some time. Domino are pushing forward though. They still have Aphelios, and you don't really leave Aphelios with turrets.
I need to bring this up.
Yeah.
There's a spike on Bambi. This either is a Gore Drinker or a Strike Breaker.
It's the whips. I believe it's going to be the Gold Drinker.
I mean, okay, I also saw the Kindle Gem right now. It's interesting because in reality, it is a close quarters game. You get the ability to be on the face of the enemies. So in all fairness, you're not a ranged champion as a Graves on this one. You're a melee.
Yep. Want it or not, everybody on Lightside is going to be a melee champion sooner or later because Domino are going to bring the fight right into your ranks. But right now, it's a little bit too late. The Herald was taken. Another Herald, the second one, also taken by Lightside. Yes, they're giving away the dragons, but they are taking the Heralds at least. So they're going to push a little bit further somewhere, but all the turrets on the side of Domino are still standing. So mind that they still need to crack something open.
It seems like they're trying to force the mid lane, but apparently they cannot do it as BZ fighting versus Spooder. And now that the ultimate has been used, you know he's going to be a mini Nard. He has to go back eventually. He's going for that Divine as well. So he needs to finish that one. Probably going to do it right now as the Wukong is also on the same department. Let me just take a peek. That should be it. And then go for the steel caps. There you go. That's the easy one. Now, Vex is approaching that full-on AP build to get the Ludens. Let's see if he goes for the Mejais and maybe Zonias to get a Nightmare. Really, really happy. But then you're dodging away on the Shadow Flame if you do that. So maybe just get the Dark Steel and leave it there open in case you get some sort of advantage. Everfrost doesn't quite connect. Shadow Surge is there, but do you really want to follow it? That's a good dodge at the end of the line. Apparently, it's not enough. Bambi tries to get himself in a melee matchup as Ziz is running away, but Murdox is there with that perfect ultimate, but it doesn't quite get him. Ziz way too low. The Infernum on the back line gets the burning in. It seems that Domino are taking some names.
There is a problem that I'm seeing right now for Lightside. First of all, Bambi is facing a problem because Hyaxis is chasing him. Oh, that Rakan wants to jump in, but I don't think it's going to happen. The Porcupine can still try. Nah, he's safe. He should be safe. But another problem that I'm seeing for Lightside, yes, you have the engage of your own, but apart from the Encore, you don't really have many disengage tools, so you cannot really do anything when Domino jump full on top of you. Oh, Svenne!
But they still want to do it. If Bambi puts himself on the melee, well, Snobby just offered himself. That turret, though, from Aphelios should be enough to deter them. Porcupine flashes at the last possible second as the teleport comes in from Sis. This is going to allow them to take the first turret on the mid lane. It seems like the Herald is going to join them on that quest. They're trying to recall. The turret is destroyed. And Zera will probably try to take him away. I mean, you just need to touch him. There you go.
Yes.
Take him away.
Here we go, Spooder is there to also help clear the mid lane a little bit, but the top line with Porcupine stuck here.
Oh, he's getting dragged across like a stuffed doll. Can you do anything right now? This is like Toy Story as they're sharing the toy. This is complicated for the Nar.
Okay, here is the thing. Don't go into the team fights, try to fish for opponents, try to get them one by one. Like you did it here, you tried at least to go onto that Vex, but unfortunately for you, you didn't kill her on the spot. And after that, with some missed abilities and ultimates here and there, and some teleports in, it turned into a massive fight in the end with Porcupine going in. And come on, that's still Diana, and that's still the control. And your control doesn't really do much, unfortunately.
Team fight of chaotic proportions.
Yes.
Everything happening, everything is being thrown. It seems like both teams are keen to fight that one. And there you go, it's going to be the God Drinker. And the next item is going to be Death's Dance, I presume, on the Graves. Graves is now a gladiator. Yeah, he's on the front line. He's going to be tanking alongside the Wukong
with everybody.
And Silas. There's a lot of sustain. So who's building the counter sustain? I don't see any grievous wounds on Domino.
Nobody.
On the ocean map, by the way.
Oh, come on, you need to build them as soon as possible. Oh, yeah, your Snap is already taking some damage, but Domino are taking some as
Easy
well.
was caught. Good reply from Shocks. Look at this. He's going for the backline. He's going for the Aphelios. He is gone. So the AD is no longer present. But look on the other side. It seems like Domino are taking them part by part. The only one that deals damage is Sis, because the rest of the team is just being picked apart. Gets a double kill, but doesn't matter because in the end you're kind of lonely. And there's way too much damage from Domino. And that's a 12 and 10. The lead in gold is rising up. The Soul is getting ready. This is Soul Point Salati. Domino could play spoilers today.
Oh, it's looking big for them, definitely. This Diana, already 4 kills on her. I will keep my eyes on her, not just because I like the champion, but because look at what she is doing. Yes, there's Enko flying in, getting Rakan, pretty important, but it's not getting Diana, and she'll still has the free access to the back lane. Right here, look at it, everybody's grouped up. Perfect! You jump in the Moonfall, she hasn't used it by now. It's absolutely huge. It's getting everybody. It's a lot of damage. You're getting the kills, and yes, she's on your own back lane trying to do something here and there, but the main damage dealer of Domino right now is actually in the enemy's backline, doing damage there, and nobody can stop that Diana. This is a problem. This is a very big problem. What do you do with that specific champion who's jumping into you and taking the kills for granted?
Now you know the next objective. You know it's going to be that Baron.
Yes.
But it's interesting because out of a sudden you focus so much on the Aphelios and you do get it to him, but the damage to Diana with that demonic embrace and fire is dealing is ridiculous, not as well. And then obviously the Vex is just destroying them. Also, previous wound has been built by Vex herself. So as soon as she pops in the looming darkness or even the personal space when she's in the middle of the fight, that is going to trigger the grievous wounds on everyone. On the other side, nobody's actually looking onto the grievous wounds, even though you have a few champions that can heal themselves.
I see 2 grievous ones actually on the side of Domino. So good. They can prop it from 2 different sides with your own back lane who's going just to throw the range damage and with somebody who can jump all in, something like that. So they are trying to hit everybody with these grievous wounds, making sure that no heal from that Seraphine is going to work. And they didn't give them any chance of getting the Ocean Drake, so come on, no additional sustain available there for Lightside. This is looking sad. 12-10. Yes, the difference in the kills is not that big, but the difference in gold is there and the difference in items in there. But what's more important, the prior on the map is there for Domino everywhere except for the mid lane, and it can easily be changed, and they will need to change it because yes, everybody's looking at both these objectives, but especially at the Baron. You need to start securing the area around it, and looking at the wards from Domino, they already have done a hella good job.
The map is falling apart bit by bit. Lightside are having some issues maintaining themselves versus whatever Domino brought into the equation. Seems there's a lot of threats they have to deal with, and the damage is kinda unidimensional. So you can only reply in a single way. They have to find an answer inside of this game. This is a best of 1. This is not the best of 5 yet. Losing the top 2, Salari, is devastating.
I know. Chances are still there for Lightside though. Let's be real, the difference is big but not too dramatic yet. They can try to bounce back in the game, but realistically, looking at what they've been doing by now, they have been trying to fish for those, individual targets to get them out before the potential team fight could happen somewhere on the map. But it hasn't really been working for them. And because of that, when they're going into the fight, 5-on-5, if there is no numbers advantage for Lightside, they cannot win it.
It's a good engage. They got Snobby, and not only that, they're looking to Porcupine. They're trying to buy enough time. Look at Aphelios, he's way too far. And now that Spooder was caught, he's not even going to transform himself. Double hop means nothing, and the Baron could be the decision right now. BZ wants to take down 2 axes, but Zero is going to try and slow that down. And BZ, the jungler, is taking way too much damage, and all of a sudden, that Baron call is not that secure anymore.
No, Busy was too far ahead from the rest of the team. Nobody could actually keep up with the speed with which he went into the enemies. That's the potential fight here, but not yet. That's the problem with Wukong. He wants to go in with a Cyclone, but he can find himself way too far away from the rest of the team, and nobody might be able to follow up on him, and he might just die alone amongst the enemies. Something that happens quite often with Wukong, actually, but here at least he did not die. But indeed, the window for the Baron was just lost there, so they need to continue like that, and it's a problem because 37 seconds before the Drake is going to be up. Remember that suddenly everybody's looking at this side of the map instead of the top one.
It's going to be important 30 seconds for the Soul, the Ocean, on a team that already has a lot of sustain. So no matter how many anti-heal you have, the Ocean is going to be way powerful on those fights. You cannot allow the Soul to fall prey into Domino. Obviously, Lightside are the ones that want to use that abuse of regeneration. CS wants to go in. The Mega not only connects with 2, only 1 goes against the wall. Instance is already really low. Zero goes into the midst of the fight. Instead of Finn doesn't get the song that she wants to get. Busy goes into the back line. And all of a sudden, it's Baby with a shotgun. Try to do as much as he can. But 2axis is actually getting some sort of distance from the enemy team. And look at Spooner! There is a perfect fight! There is a triple kill! There could be the quadra kill out of nowhere! That is gorgeous, beautiful! What a freaking ace!
Oh my god, big mistake from Lightside. They did well when Porcupine jumped into them because so many people went golden all of a sudden. So many people focused on that Diana, making sure she doesn't shot anybody. But come on, exactly what you said in the midst of the fight. 2axis suddenly got the distance between himself and the enemies. And that's everything that Aphelios needs to strive in the fight and to kill everything, quite literally almost everybody. Quadra kill on the Aphelios is a result of the fight. So here, let's see Svenne actually loses the hook just a little bit earlier, and because of that, for Domino, it's an opportunity to go in, but Seas is actually the one using it for him. Oh, he goes in, he's golden. Here comes Porcupine. There comes an Anchor, not really hitting much people. Come on, there is so much damage and everybody's so grouped. It's hard to see what's going on. Seraphin is going golden. Survives for a little bit longer because of that, but come on. 2axis uses the flash to get away from Busy, who is golden right now, but Busy jumps immediately back to his own team, leaving 2axis alone. Oh, that is big. That's a big mistake there.
Gnar is doing so much work on this last bit of fight.
Yes.
He's the front wall that they needed and also gives the kill to 2axis. He knew the quadra kill was there, so might as well take it.
Yes. Ah, look at him, even walked away.
Nah. That was such an amazing fight from Domino. 17-13, and this was the perfect fight for Lightside. If they wanted to take a shot at this, this was it.
This was the time. This was their biggest opportunity in the whole game, and they did it quite well in the beginning of the fight, but come on, after that, a little mistake here and a little mistake there. They were minor, but in the end, they resulted in the possibility for Domino to turn the fight around. And right now, the Baron is available for them. They're running in with the buff. They want to siege the mid lane. And yes, that Silas is trying to do something on the top lane to reply there. But your base is getting sieged, so maybe you need to come back as soon as possible.
27 minutes in, Soul is completed. Elder is now the play as the TP from CS comes in. Instantly gets fears. I don't think it's even the passive from Vex. I actually think it's the player right now, because he know the fear is there. Fear of losing the second seeds, jumping one game in playoffs, getting closer to Division 1 as well. That is a dream. It's getting slowly chipped away as Lightside are against the wall, now being pushed into a corner. Do you fight or do you let it happen? You have one opportunity right now. It's the best of one. You cannot look into the next game. This is the last day, last game of regular split. Every single, like, the league will be over after this one. Only playoffs. It is a pause. Nah, tension is high. Nah.
Oh my god, not right now. No. Please, can we jump back into the game? Come on, this is so big. Look at the turrets. Look at the health bar on those turrets on the face. They are falling down extremely soon because the empowered minions are still there. And after that, that's 2 open inhibitors for you at the same time. And come on, the health bar's already far from being full, which means it's going to be so hard for you to try to fight Domino. Yes, right now could be the moment, right? Look, they're split up. They have 4 members on the mid, 1 on the bot lane. Try to isolate Spooder somehow, go in onto the rest with an enormous advantage. But, is it really going to work? Is it? Do you have enough damage? the difference after the last two fights is suddenly very big between the teams. And look at the items on Domino's side. Do you see these two Bramble vests? There are 3 champions already running with something to do about the heals from Seraphine.
You have to do it. It's not only Seraphine, it's the Graves with the Gore Drinker
Yes.
and the Fleet
Yes.
and the Wukong with the Conqueror and his passive. It is something to behold. And now the ones that are sustaining versus a sustained team, it is Domino. What does this game mean to Domino? Nothing more than sending a message of we are a good team. We are going to take the 4 C's. We are looking into playoffs and we want to go to finals. For Lightside, this was the option and the opportunity for them to showcase themselves as a team that was not lucky at the beginning of the split. No, this was their shot to prove themselves that they were the team that got top 1 because they were good, and they are good. But versus Domino, on this game specifically, they're not pulling it off. It's going to be a complicated game. Obviously, on playoffs, when we get to the best of 5, that's when we get to know the teams. That's when we get to really dig into the champion pool to understand the mentality, how they can play and all that. But it's really important for them to get the 2nd seed.
Yeah, everybody's measuring each other, but come on, the difference between the teams is so big all of a sudden, and you don't have 2 more games to go into.
Oh, well,
we're going back!
It's the last game of the season, so put your back on the seats and stand up for this one. I don't even know anymore. It's Domino versus Lightside. Last game of the split. They got 2 inhibitors. T2 is open on the top side. The momentum is definitely in favor of Domino. Gold lead in favor of them. Soul will be up in 2 minutes. Baron in 3. How can they fight this one, Solari?
How can Lightside try to do something about this game? Go for the Elder and somehow miraculously get it for yourself? Because, come on, the Elder is right now the biggest thing that can turn the game around for you. It's going to be so beneficial going into those fights, having this additional oink of the damage whenever somebody on the enemy team goes low. Try to go for it. The problem is, the 2 crucial lanes have been cracked open for you. The mid and the bot, you don't have prio there anymore. It's going to be extremely hard for Lightside to leave their base and go towards the pit to try to establish control over it, to try to be the first ones there to dictate where exactly the fight is going to take place. Domino still control the whole map. They're going through the top side right now. They want to open it as well, making sure that for Lightside leaving the base is going to mean that they're risking losing the game immediately.
One mistake is all that it takes for Lightside to lose this game. I think Domino can still afford to do at least 2 or even more. Vision is in control of Lightside. If you take a peek into their own jungle, they're trying to take control and understand where everybody is. But the problem is, the triangle where they are right now is kind of dark. So
yeah,
all those wards were dissipated in less than 30 seconds. Good control. How can you even move? Look at the minions coming from the bot side, Solari. Those are 2 super minions with a big wave. Someone has to reply.
At least it's some gold going towards Lightside. You know, these minions are bringing quite some gold right to their base, but they cannot really go and do anything about them because look at the top side. Everybody from Domino is there. There's also now on the mid lane. You need to be here and answering right here. The problem is those minions are going straight to your Nexus turrets, and that means you need to stop them and potentially give away the turret on the top.
The wave clear is not the most powerful we've seen yet, and BZ knows that he's fighting Spooder and it's going to be a tough one. He has the upper lead, he has the super minions as well, so it's about crashing that wave into the turrets. Talking about crashing waves, well, we have one on top side, and look at this, he stole away Diana's ultimate. They want to take Snobby away, but Spooder, out of a sudden, the ultimate that was stolen doesn't mean anything. It was used in the air. It doesn't seem like tonight is going to be the night in favor of Lightside. Domino are dominating.
It will take a miracle for Lightside to win this game right now. They're being heavily sieged from all the corners. Still, look at the bot side. The minions are still pouring in. Ooh, finally some pretty nice
Sean
encore.
hits with one. The Mega Knot is there. It should be the perfect ultimate that disappear. They're melting like butter in the summer. And all of a sudden, Domino are sending the message to the upper class. We came here to conquer. We came here to dethrone you. Lightside are brought down to their knees into the third seed at the last possible game of the split.
24-14. What a way to end up this day and to end up the split, to be honest. What a game. This last fight was the last call, the desperate call from Lightside. This is do or die. We try to do something here, but alas, you lose the base and you lose the game.
You lose the game and you lose the opportunity to just skip and hop on the upper brackets. Out of a sudden, things are really real for Lightside, and we need to talk with them. So let's toss it to a break instantly. We need to talk with Domino, but also Lightside. I'll see you soon.